DIY, my first DIY video, but basically I have this shelving unit that's in between our bedroom and our kitchen that we don't really know what to put on, and I tried to plant some plants on the shelf, but I guess David says I have a little bit of a black thumb because all of my flowers died. So I figured I still want plants to be on the shelf, but I bought some fake plants so I won't kill them. And these I got on Amazon and they're super cute and all of them look pretty real. So I'm going to open up all of these real quick so I can show you. So I finally have all of the plants out of the bags and they're actually super cute. Some of these are awesome. So the package, I believe, said that there was 15 plants and they kind of all vary. Some are big and some are actually kind of small, so I can do little arrangements. And the idea I had was to use these glass jars. These actually had candles in them. I have a bunch of them. David and I love candles, and I didn't want to just throw out the glasses. So what I did was I put boiling water inside of the jar with, like, you know, this much candle is left in it and you can't burn it. So you put boiling water into the jar with the candle, the wax, and then it brings the wax up to the top. And once the wax hardens, you can just pull out that layer of wax. So it brings it from the bottom to the top. So I just did that for all of these jars and then I washed them, and I don't know, these are like the perfect size for these plants. So once they're in there, it's gonna look super cute. And they're doing some construction work out there and there's tons of rocks outside of our apartment, and those are going to go in the bottom of these jars. Now originally I was going to paint these jars, but I kind of want to see what they look like just clear without any paint on them. I might paint some of them, I'm not sure, but first I want to see what they look like. And then two of the jars, I haven't really decided which two. I might use just two of the smaller ones. There's two hooks on each of the squares at the top that I can hang something from, which I'm assuming that the person who lived here before hung plants. So what I'm gonna do is I bought some twine. This actually, I bought it on Amazon and it actually came a lot smaller than I wanted. I wanted like thicker twine, but these jars are actually kind of small, so the really thin twine might work very well. So what I'm gonna do is, I've never done it before, but I'm gonna start with a bunch of the twine at the bottom, and then I'm gonna do little knots around the jar up to the top, and then I'm going to hang it from the hook and then put one of the fake plants inside. So I'm going to be doing that for two of the jars, and this is going to be interesting because I haven't ever done this, and I've kind of been thinking about how I want to do it, how much twine to use, and I'm just going to kind of wing it. Okay, so I need to figure out how long my pieces of twine have to be. So I'll probably do about my arm's length, so that way I don't cut it too short, and then it's easy to measure. Okay, so I have about 8 pieces, well, I have 8 pieces of the twine that are the length of my arms. What you doing, Josie? And I figured I'd do an even number because I might end up having them meet on 4 corners, so that way I only have 4 strings going up to the hook. But this twine, like I said, is kind of thin, so I'm gonna have to make do with what I got. So I think the first thing I'm going to do, Josie, is make a knot in the middle. This is the middle. I'm just going to make a knot in the center to keep, so there's a knot right here, to keep them all together. Put this at the center at the bottom of the jar. I'm going to separate my twine. Put it on now. So I've kind of created something that looks like a spider, and I'm going to put my jar in the middle. And then I'm just gonna start doing knots on the sides of my jar. Okay, so just to give you an idea of the knots that I just made, there are 8 pieces of string, and I did it in pairs. So I did 2 strings at a time because this twine is kind of small, but if you have bigger twine, then I don't think you're gonna have to double up. But I did 1 knot in the center. This is at the bottom of the jar. So I did 1 knot at the center, and then I took 2 pieces, and then I created a knot. 2 pieces, knot, 2 pieces, knot, 2 pieces, knot. So when I put the jar on top, these pieces are on the side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do knots with alternating pieces. So I'm going to do knot with these 2, a knot with these 2, and those 2, and so on. And I'm going to keep doing that until I reach the top of the jar. Now, I'm not sure if this is how you actually do this design. I've seen pictures like on Pinterest, and this is just my guess on how it works. So I could totally be doing this the hard way, but I don't know. I feel like it's gonna work, so I'm just gonna try. So I have the bottom done. It actually kind of looks pretty cool so far, but I'm going to keep going. I'll probably have to do it maybe 2 or probably 3 more rows of knots around so I get to the top, but it definitely holds the jar, so that's a good sign. So now that I'm finished doing all of my knots, I ended up doing 4 rows of knots all the way up the jar. So it has this cool diamond pattern. I need to do this on another jar because I have 2 hooks. So I'm going to get started on this one. Okay, so I officially have both of my hanging jars that will go on the shelf. I'm super excited. They're super, super cute. Right now they're kind of spinning, but you can kind of see the design with the knots. I'm pretty impressed with myself, not gonna lie. Okay, so now I'm going to pick what plants I want to go in each of my jars. I have 8 jars, which is good because it's an even number, so each shelf will have 4. So I have some big flowers and some small ones. I'm definitely gonna have this plant hanging out of one of these, so when it hangs up, it'll kind of be falling out of it, which I think will be super cool. I'm actually kind of tempted to cut this one in half so that way both of my hanging plants have some of this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So I think I have the perfect amount of plants for each jar, so that way it kind of is evenly distributed. So the next step is going to be adding the rocks to the bottom of all of the jars. my first jar, and I am not gonna lie, this is probably the cutest thing I've ever made. Oh my goodness. And the rocks that I got are like the perfect color because they almost look like soil because they're dark and they're mixtures, and I actually got them straight from outside so they don't even look store-bought at all. Looks like dirt, and so this looks super cool. I'm super excited to finish the rest, and I'm going to do that right now. Have all of my plants in their jars, and now it is time to hang them up and set them up. I'm super excited to see what these look like on the shelf. Let's go. Here is what the shelf looks like from the bedroom. Now I'll show you what it looks like from the kitchen. I can't wait to see what David thinks when he gets home, but be sure to subscribe to Meg and Dave for more videos.